Once upon a time, in time a prince would come. Once upon a time, but now that time is gone.
You just watched a teaser for Snow White and the Evil Queen, an upcoming feature film by the Daily Wire. In fact, it's starring one of their own hosts, Ben Shapiro's doppelganger, as she's often referred to, Brett Cooper. Now, just like all of the other remakes that have basically involved some cultural changes, the Daily Wire didn't like the live action remake for Snow White, which is starring a woman, an actress who's 22 years old. Her name's Rachel Zegler, and she is Colombian and Polish. She considers herself a white Latina, but I really think that some of the criticism toward her coming from conservatives isn't just about, Snow White being cast by someone who doesn't have like translucent skin. I think it also has to do with some of the comments that she's made about the movie itself while she's out there talking about it. We'll get to that in just a moment. But nonetheless, the Daily Wire decided to provide their own version, their response, if you will, to the live action remake of the Snow White movie. Now, we'll tell you more about that later, but first let's talk about why the Disney Snow White movie is getting criticized. First and foremost, conservatives are mad that Snow White is being played by Rachel Zegler, who is not in fact white. Her mother is Colombian, her father is Polish. Zegler also publicly criticized the original Disney animated movie for its, in her mind, dated storyline. I mean, it did come out in the 30s, so sure. And hinted that the new version will give her character more agency. She said that Snow White is not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be and the leader that her late father told her that she could be if she was fearless, fair, brave, and true. Zegler previously told Vanity Fair, people are making these jokes about ours being the PC Snow White, where it's like, yeah, it is because it needed that. So I have some comments in response to her comments, and some people might not like it, but that's okay.
Don't worry, I'm gonna balance it out by making fun of the right wing. Go ahead.
True love is awesome, guys. True love is what keeps me grounded and able to do this job, which some days is incredibly hellish. True love means you get to share your life with a partner. I don't care who that partner is. I don't care if it's a same-sex partner. I don't care if you're heterosexual, it doesn't matter. Having someone in your life that you love and loves you back and supports you makes everything else in life better. I'm saying that as someone who had the same mindset as Rachel Zegler. So don't let people convince you that like, no, having those personal, loving, intimate relationships doesn't matter at all. In fact, you should like look down at that and instead be like, I don't know, a boss girl. And like, no, you should be obsessed with, you can be obsessed with your career. You can be an independent woman. You can also do all of that while having a loving relationship as well. Like it doesn't have to be one or the other.
But Anna, I don't think that's the critique that they have of the old Snow White. I think that the critique is the one she said, which is that Snow White doesn't have enough agency in the story, right? That it's like she's being rescued by this Prince Charming, or I haven't read it in a while. Prince Charming's in it, right? Wait till I get to funnier revelations about what I think of Snow White.
She was poisoned by that bitch witch, okay? All right, she's unconscious, okay, as a result of that. And then a hot prince shows up, gives her a little kiss, a little smooch, and she wakes up. Great, who cares?
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm sure that
no, women, your agency is being questioned. Come on, man, come on. You know what, sometimes a dude comes around and does save you. So what?
Oh, okay. Well, God bless.
Really,
on
we're
that.
gonna like, oh no, how dare we portray men as the saviors in some cases?
Yeah.
Anyway, it's
yeah,
so dumb. All of this is so dumb.
All right, so look, I don't know exactly what Rachel Zegler or anyone else is criticizing about the original thing, but yeah, there's nothing wrong with true love, of course. And sometimes a woman rescues you, and sometimes a man rescues you.
Totally.
Sometimes someone straight rescues you, sometimes someone gay rescues you. White, black, who cares? We're all human, you schmucks. Okay, so look, there's I think a couple of things in here that I think are hilarious, and then I actually do want to make some points about their business model. So, and whether this movie's going to work. So when Brett Cooper,
No one says her name like that.
Emily in Paris, the way that the British guy says Cooper's name. Anyway, some of you will get that. You see, I like true love. When Brett Cooper turns around, I'm like, I literally thought for half a second, is that Ben Shapiro in drag?
No, come on.
Okay, and then
I
I'm
mean,
like, is
yes,
this drag queen story hour? Is that what this is? Because that would be the funniest thing that ever happened. Because then I would watch it. I would watch it. They'd make a lot of money. Okay, I would recommend that you guys watch it. She looks so much like Ben Shapiro.
Does.
It's unbelievable.
It's uncanny. It really is.
And it's unbelievable that they're not siblings.
They're not related. Like that's okay, guys. I have an admission to make. It's embarrassing, but I will admit it anyway. For the longest time, I thought Brett Cooper was actually Ben Shapiro's sister, who also makes content on YouTube.
But that's a different person.
But that's a different person.
And she also looks like both Ben Shapiro and Brett Cooper.
It's the most, like, I think that's the most interesting part of this story, to be honest with you. But anyway.
No, but there's a relevant part to it too. It's not just random. The brother makes like this big giant movie that they spent a lot of money on.
Yeah.
And he casts the lead role as someone who looks just like him. Okay, that's kind of funny.
She's a host at the Daily Wire though. So like, it seems like they were, picking people who they already work with. Maybe?
Yeah, I get it. I get it. It's just funny. That's all.
Yeah.
It's something else that's funny. Is I thought Snow White. I thought White was her last name.
No, Snow White in the original fairy tale is like it's a reference to her skin, and it's supposed to be so pale that she almost looks sick.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if audiences are into that right now, but who knows? Maybe.
But guys, so that's going to lead to my main point. Things change, and I get why conservatives get so mad about stuff like this because it sounds so silly to the rest of us, right? But generally speaking, conservatives don't like change. They're not like me and you. And by the way, there's some parts of change that I don't like, right? And I'm a very nostalgic guy, and I like to take the same road. I don't like to vary certain patterns and habits that I have. But whether we like it or we don't like it, things change. And so to that point about her being like so white, she almost looks sick. It's beautiful. Like today, people are like, what? There's a saying in Turkish, so I understand that racism is worldwide, right? And it's not just about racism, it's about whether you worked in the fields or you were rich. So the most desirable woman was supposed to be someone so white, and this comes from Turkish culture, where we're not that white, okay? That you could see a dark grape go down her throat.
Gross.
Which everybody, in the modern world, when you say that, everyone goes, ew, gross, right? But back then they're like, oh, that's so hot, she's like a ghost, right? So times change. Conservatives, this is when you grab the thing and you cry into it, I don't want times to change.
But Jake, let me counter what you're saying for a second, okay? Because sure, yes, times do change. And if you want to put out a different movie, then put out a different movie. Like I actually have a problem with all of the remakes. Because how about instead of remaking movies, you guys actually imagine something new and create new movies?
Yeah, well, so that's a great point, but that's like slightly different because, and yesterday on Old School we talked about that. And one of our members made a great point where they said, yeah, the reason why Flintstones and Jetsons are basically the same exact thing, except one is in the past and one is in the future, is because they're both based on The Honeymooners, which was a sitcom at the time, right? So that actually leads to two interesting points. One is that, yeah, like we don't know that Hollywood, for all of its creativity, is not that creative. Ants and Bugs comes out at the same time. The two disaster movies where the comets hit us come out at the same time. Because when a script gets hot in Hollywood, people are like, oh, I'm gonna make it. No, I'm gonna make it. And they both make it at the same time.
No imagination. I think that's like the most To me, that's the most offensive part about all of this. Just the lack of imagination and the laziness.
Yeah.
Like, oh, we can't think of anything new, so why don't we just remake a Disney movie from the 1930s or a Disney fairy tale from the 1930s?
100%. But look, but then on the parts of why things have to change, The Honeymooners are a perfect example. So the main punchline in Honeymooners was Ralph Cramden going, "To the moon, Alice, to the moon," and everybody laughed out loud. So what were they laughing at? He was gonna punch his wife so hard she'd fly to the moon. And everybody thought that was like a hilarious line back in the day. They're like, oh man, he's gonna punch her in the face again, and so hard. So should we still celebrate that? No change, right? So yeah, oh man, punching your wife in the face is so funny. Remake it exactly like that. Don't change a word. Yes, sometimes you gotta change things, it's a little awkward. Are we gonna remake 16 Candles and have that Asian character be like the most outrageously offensive character anyone's ever seen? Long Duck Dog,
Jake,
are you serious?
Jake, hold on. But like, are you trying to make the argument that Snow White being saved by a prince is on the same level as that? It's not even close.
No, I don't care about Snow White at all, okay? Yeah. So I'm just saying it in general. Sometimes, in fact, the example I was gonna use is not Snow White, is Hansel and Gretel. We made the mistake of watching a remake of that with our kids. It was like a cheesy remake anyway. But that story is super dark. A lot of the Brothers Grimm stories are enormously dark. A lady seems like she's helping the little kids and they got candy and everything's fun. And then she's gonna boil them alive. We don't need it.
Maybe we do. Maybe sometimes.
Okay, so anyways, roll with the punches, conservatives. Sometimes times change and sometimes it's wonderful that times change. Like we had slavery, we don't have it anymore. That was good change. Please agree with me.
Okay, I'm gonna say some stuff. You guys are gonna hate me. It's okay, you can hate me. I will accept the hate.
Okay.
They did this, so Sex and the City, okay? They are now coming out with like a new franchise associated with Sex and the City called Just Like That, I think it's called.
Yeah.
Unwatchable.
Unwatchable.
It is so unwatchable because they're pandering and they're trying so hard. And I gotta be honest with you guys, even me, I'm getting so tired of like the constant like pandering, pander. Just give me entertaining, interesting, compelling content without pandering, okay? Without the tokenism. It's so obvious when they engage in the tokenism. There are shows, like brand new shows that aren't based off of old shows from literally like decades ago, almost a century ago, that are incredible, right? And they're cast by, it's a diverse cast. I'm forgetting the name of that one show that it was a comedy based on the public school system.
Abbott.
Yes, Abbott Elementary. Abbott Elementary is like one of my favorite shows, right? And it's a diverse cast, okay? The creator is a black woman. She also stars in it. And it's excellent. It is excellent. And I never feel like I'm being pandered to as I watch it, right?
Yeah.
So like, I think what we do with these like remakes, and then like there's all this annoying all these annoying changes that I don't even think need to be made. Like I'll give you an example of the dwarfs, right? So in Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, in the remake, they've done away with that for some reason. Okay, so instead
because it was uncomfortable. Come on.
Hold on, but little people exist. Like why? It's uncomfortable to see little people?
No. I've said this a billion times. Like so, back in the day, they thought it was hilarious to take little people and you might have seen it in Wolf of Wall Street and do all sorts of gags with them, like throw them against like a giant dartboard and all these throwing of the little. I hated those.
That's not what happens in Snow White, though.
Okay, now in Snow White, you could argue
they're the heroes.
Yeah, that they're the heroes. So it all depends. Sometimes change is good, sometimes it's bad. Sometimes you keep it, sometimes you don't. I'm just saying in general, it's not the worst thing in the world if we change some parts of it. Okay, and I don't know how they were gonna do it. And besides which, come on, let's all be honest. None of us are gonna watch either one of those movies.
No, we're not. It's true. It's right? So true.
Yeah, but I'll double down on what Anna's saying about the pandering. Yeah, that Sex and the City remake I tried watching it with my wife. It's just the worst. And everything's a formula, and everything is like, it's almost like someone who isn't progressive, who's trying to appeal to young progressives. So they're like, and you're LGBTQ plus, well, I'm okay with that. And you're like, oh yeah, please stop, okay? So now last thing, back to the business model that I promised you guys. So first of all, them making this movie, go for it. If Americans want a non-adapted one and they like the children being boiled alive by Hansel and Gretel's witch, and they like this, and they like Bambi being murdered in the beginning. I'm kidding around.
No, don't talk about Bambi.
I'm kidding. Whatever you want to do, guys, nobody's stopping you. It's a free country, and then see if people like it. And if people like it and they want to watch that version, who cares? Who cares? So like the right wing gets offended at the adaptations, right? But we shouldn't do likewise and get offended by the right wing's non-adaptations.
Yeah.
You want to remake a boring thing as perfectly boring as it was originally? Have at it, Hoss, right? And you want to put in Ben Shapiro's doppelganger to freak us out? Have at it, Hoss. And by the way, I feel now you see the lib in me. I kind of feel bad for Brett Cooper. Okay, so she's a real person with real feelings. Okay.
But come on, but come on,
But come
do it again, do it again, do it again. It is uncanny, uncanny.
You're telling me that's not the same person. Okay, anyways.
It's amazing.
All right, we're just playing around, Okay,
Yeah.
so super last thing. I don't think this model is gonna work. I almost want it to work because I #freedom. And I like that they're trying something different. So Daily Wire, I got no love for with the cast of characters like Matt Walsh and Candace Owens, right? But like Shapiro and Boring, who's their CEO, they want to try to recreate something specifically for right wingers, and they want to keep it in the old ways. So I weirdly like the effort. Right? Because just super serve your audience. If that's what your audience wants, okay, sure, give it to them.
Yeah,
why not?
I agree with you. I have no problem with it. I have no interest in watching their version of the film or the remake of the film. So you're on point when it came to that. But I mean, look, I think everyone has a creative itch of some sort. So find a way to scratch it, and that's what they're doing here.
Yeah.
And I think they're using the culture war as an excuse to do what they actually wanted to do with their careers, which is
make movies, be in Hollywood, make movies, get famous that way. Keep it real. I happen to think it's not going to work. I think that the finance model is not going to work. They're expecting people to pay $99 a year to get like a tiny amount of remakes and different like cleaned up kids shows in their minds cleaned up. And they're spending an unbelievable amount of money to do that. The math doesn't add up to me, but maybe they know something I don't know. Like maybe they got some crazy right-wing donors and that's making it happen. In the long run, I'd be surprised if it worked, but I don't mind if it does. So what? Okay, let them watch whatever they want. We'll watch whatever we want, and then we'll call it America.
I gotta read a comment from Jeremy Boring though. He's the co-founder of the Daily Wire, and here's what he has to say about the Snow White remake. While Disney still uses Walt's name, they have all but abandoned his legacy. Walt Disney loved America. The company he founded seems to think America is systemically racist, and beyond just their content, Disney as a corporation pushes all the worst excesses of the woke left. It would be impossible to overstate just how big a loss this is for Americans who believe in basic reality.
Really, that big a loss?
But basic reality, we're talking about a cartoon from the 1930s.
I didn't even realize that was the part you were amused by, but you're right. No, the part I'm amused by is Walt Disney loved America and hated Jews. We keep him just like oh wait, that's awkward. Okay, so remember Walt Disney was wildly anti-Semitic. Should we keep that part, Ben? Maybe you want to adapt that part, okay? So you see why sometimes things need to change.